You feel it, you know it. Raww Productions.
Houston Sports Connoisseurs brought to you by
Raww.
What's up, people? It's your boy Raww coming to you with another episode of the HSC. Man, days are getting shorter. The shadows are getting longer. Baseballs is popping. Footballs is flying through the fall crisp air. Man, the weather is just really changing, and it's time, people. It's time to talk about all the great things of the fall sports season. Let's go ahead and jump right into the Texas Tech and Houston game. Recapping that, the 35-11 loss for the Houston Cougars was very disappointing in my opinion. The way Texas Tech went out there and shredded Houston in the first half was just ridiculous. The defense played well for the most part, but then at many times, flags killed them and put them in bad positions on the field, which allowed Texas Tech to score easily on them. The run game didn't really work. The passing game didn't really stand up. And the 9 injured players that didn't play for Houston really mattered in this game. The offensive line could have played much better. The play calling could have been much faster and better. And like I said, man, you look at that Oregon State game, once we start playing no huddle, this Houston team looked a whole lot better. This is Houston. We run a well-oiled engine of no huddle. We always have it. It's in our blood. So to come out here and try to huddle it up, run power, I formation, and things like that, that's not Houston ball, baby. The Houston ball is quick ball, fast ball, through the air ball. Hit it off ding cutters and get some trick play ball. That's what I say Houston ball is. So if we're not playing that kind of ball, we're not going to win a lot of games. But we've been playing pretty well. You know, one loss on the season is not going to define this Houston Cougar team. We're 4-1. Texas Tech was 5-0. Houston was off to its best start since 2016. Texas Tech was like, 2013 or 2011, whatever the case may be. It's all right. It's one loss. It's to a rival team, though, that came in here and talked a lot of smack about us. And we'll get them next year. Go Cougs. Looking at the rest of the football games that really matter, let's keep it close to home first. Texas and Florida played against each other. Florida pulled out a 29-21 victory over number 9 Texas. Florida bouncing back and getting a victory, 2-3 now. Texas gets his second loss, man. They're 3-2. They're definitely going to fall. Archie Manning struggling. DJ Lagway, a Texas native, balled out. Man, it's looking real interesting for UT right now, especially going into next week, talking about the Red River rivalry. But I'm going to get on that in a second. But, man, you look at another game, UCLA, Penn State fall. Penn State was number 7. UCLA pulled out a victory, 42-37 at home. And, man, just to say this, man, Penn State has now lost 2 back-to-back games. And I guess that Oregon game really hurt their feelings. They just couldn't get it right. And you got a UCLA team who really just fired their coach, came in with probably a little bit of different philosophy, maybe caught Penn State off guard. I don't know. That may be the case, may not be the case. Who knows? But Miami, Florida State, bro. Florida State loses again. I feel bad for Castellanos. I really have hopes for him. He balled out. He left it all on the table. 2 TDs, 50-some yards rushing. Still lost the game. 19 points in the fourth quarter. Still couldn't get it done against Miami. Miami is now 5-0, 1-0 in the ACC. Florida State is struggling right now, man. 2 losses back-to-back as well. I believe they got to find some kind of common ground to get back on that train to find success. But Miami continues to keep rolling. The last game I want to talk about last week was the Alabama-Vandy game. I had high hopes for Vandy, but let's be realistic, people. Vandy is not really known for winning, even though they started off high 5-1. I'm not going to say that one loss is going to define Vanderbilt, but you got to do better. 30-14 loss, man. You got Big Noon or whoever, ESPN Game Day at your game and all that. Got to do better. And you know what, man? I got to go back to the Houston game because I was really disappointed in what the commentators had to say about the Houston Cougars. Saying, oh, I'm glad they're not top 25. They don't look the part, this and that. All the negative talk. That's all right. We're gonna see. We're going to see. But I will tell you this. Like I said, that one loss will not define the Houston Cougars, bro. Let's ride into week 7. The first game that I got to talk about is actually North Texas and South Florida. A lot of people might overlook this game because South Florida is number 24, North Texas is not ranked. But this game really has a lot of playoff implications. This is now where I would say it's separation season. You know, you mid-season, you really starting off conference play for some teams, and this is where you really start separating yourself. You look at North Texas, undefeated, 5-0, not ranked. South Florida, 4-1. Both teams undefeated in the American, and both of the teams are really the two top teams probably headed towards the playoffs, you know, when we talk about group of 5 teams. So on a Friday night, you get these two teams going up against each other. North Texas actually favored at home, but we just seen the South Florida team beat some solid teams, man. So this is going to be a really good game to be looking at, and another game to really just measure and see where South Florida is at, or to even measure and see if North Texas is there. You know, Ohio State and Illinois. Illinois finally get another big matchup at home. You know, besides the USC game, Ohio State go on the road, and this is a rival game, man. So a lot of people going to be watching this one. Of course, I'm riding with my Buckeyes. Yeah, I like the Buckeyes, people, and they're going to destroy Illinois. Illinois is going to look like Vanderbilt looked against Alabama, in my opinion. You got Alabama and Missouri. Missouri has been undefeated so far. Missouri at home against Alabama. 2 top 15 teams going against each other, and it's going to be a hell of a duel. But honestly, man, Alabama going to pull that one off. It's just Mizzou just never gets the job done either. And I'm pretty sure these other 2 games, a lot of people are going to be watching. Oklahoma and Texas in the Red River rivalry. We already know the world will be watching. It really sucks, though, because Texas will not be ranked in this game. You go from number 9 to nothing. And, number 6, Oklahoma, will be going into the Cotton Bowl, looking to present itself and get that dub. Can Texas pull off the upset? Mateer is supposed to be playing possibly. He might be a little banged up, but this will be a real interesting game, people. Oklahoma is actually favored by 1.5 points, but I'm not surprised. Can Arch Manning present himself as a dark horse candidate again for Heisman, you know, against Oklahoma and pull off something unexpected? Because right now, Texas is looking like they're going to get blown out. So I'll be watching that game. And then you got the Oregon and Indiana game. Oregon and Indiana playing against each other, 7-3. These two matchup team, you know, these two teams match up. Game in Oregon, Indiana going in there trying to prove itself. More than likely, Oregon's going to pull it off. They're just too quick, too fast to do a whole bunch of stuff. Too quick, no huddles, man. It's just Indiana not going to be able to keep up with all that. But it'll be interesting to see what the Indiana defense do against Oregon and see if they can pull something out. You know, they already Oregon already favored by 7.5 points. So this is going to be an interesting one, man. Honestly, you know, this week is another good week of college football. You'll have Michigan and USC going against each other, South Carolina, LSU, Utah, Arizona State, BYU and Arizona, Georgia and Auburn, Texas Tech and Kansas. There's a lot of teams that will be facing against each other. Honestly, I can't just dive into every game because we'll be here all day, man. But I will say this. This is going to be the week of the upset because you're going to see a lot of top 25 teams get flopped, and you're going to see a lot of teams on the outside get in. So, like I said, this is separation week, people. This is the week where you make a difference because the conference play is really in now. It's time to say who we are. Now, before I close out the college portion of this episode, let's talk about the Houston Cougars and the Oklahoma State Cowboys. Houston goes into Oklahoma State, a team that is 1-4. Houston 4-1. Houston is highly favored in this game. Highly. And they should win this game. But this game will tell you a lot about the Houston Cougars. Is Houston a team that can bounce back after a loss and not let this loss define them? Or are they a team that can define themselves as winners after losing one game? So it'll be interesting to see. I'm really hoping Houston get it all together, make it happen. I know Connor Wigman was a little banged up last game, but he's coming in this game fully healthy. Been practicing fully with the team. Everything's looking good. Hopefully the offensive line is a little bit more healthier for Houston, and hopefully we go into Oklahoma State and get this win. A much-needed Big 12 win, which will push the Houston Cougars to 5-1 and 2-1 in the Big 12. Let's go, Cougs. Jumping into the NFL talk, people, there was a lot of excitement in Week 5. We look at the 49ers and Rams game that started us off on a Thursday night. The Rams fell against the 49ers, but that says a lot about the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars are a solid team. The 49ers was a good team. They just lost in a bad way against the Jaguars. The 49ers, are really starting to get things rolling. The Rams is looking like the Rams, who are still a pretty competitive team, a contending team as well. And they just got the short end of the stick in their game, and they lost 26-23. You look at the Colts, they defeated the Raiders, which the Raiders are not really looking that good this year. Geno Smith is not looking like he was in Seattle. The Raiders got destroyed by the Colts. Cowboys came through, pushed for the win, 37-22 against the Jets. The Jets once again fall to another team, and they're 0-5. The Broncos and Eagles played against each other. The Eagles get their first loss. I believe I had the Broncos in that game winning against the Eagles, which they did, 21-17. Jalen Hurts threw 2 TDs, but it just wasn't enough to beat the Broncos. The Broncos rallied and got their win against another contending team, 21-17. The Broncos are still here, and the Eagles got their first loss. The Buccaneers beat the Seahawks. Seahawks is a solid team. Baker Mayfield went out there and dueled it out. 379 yards passing, bro. 2 TDs. Baker Mayfield is still hot. You still can't stop him. And Darnold even had a great game as well, but it just wasn't enough. 38-35 victory by the Buccaneers beating the Seahawks in Seattle. Man, and I want to talk about this one too. The Chargers fell to the Commanders. Jaden Daniels back again, healthy, getting a victory against a playoff team. And the Chargers, Patriots, Bills get their first loss, making the Bills look human. And the Patriots win 23-20. And your boy Stephon Diggs had a hell of a game, letting his boy Josh Allen know that, hey, you missed me, brother, because I'm still here and I'm still that player. 10 receptions for 146. He killed the Bills, man. Patriots got that victory. Drake May looked amazing, and things looked up. And then when you look at the Monday night game, Chiefs and Jags, bro, that crazy play by Trevor Lawrence stumbling and getting in the end zone. Mahomes had a hell of a game as well, but it just wasn't enough to get it done. 31-28 victory by the Jaguars to beat the Chiefs. And then, I got to highlight them Texans, baby. 44-10 victory for the Houston Texans, getting their second victory on the season. Now we're 2-3. And like I said, man, these games really mean a lot. You got the Ravens now 1-4. Your boy Lamar Jackson didn't play. Cooper Rush got in. He threw for 179, 3 interceptions. But our boy CJ Stroud, he went off, baby. He showed you that he can be an elite quarterback. 244, 4 TDs, no interceptions, baby. Nick Chubb played good. Woods played good. Christian Kirk played good. Everybody played pretty good. And honestly, I'm going to tell you this, people. I know a lot of people is going to sit up there and say this. Oh, if Lamar Jackson was playing, this would have been a different game. The Ravens would have won. No, they would not have. I'm going to tell you this, because the Ravens defense got drugged up by the Texans, bro. The offensive line by the Texans played much better, and they were just all over Cooper Rush. Yeah, Lamar Jackson probably would have made the game a little closer. They would have put up more points. I agree with that. But to say they would have won just because of one player, they wouldn't have. I mean, you got Derrick Henry. He only had 33 yards rushing, 15 carries, 1 TD. He got held down, bro. And yeah, the team looked a little bit more one-dimensional because of Cooper Rush being a quarterback, but Cooper Rush ain't no backup at all. He had some great games in Dallas. Did he have a bad game against the Texans? Yeah, he did. But you're talking about a top 2 defense. The Texans defense remains to be a top contender each week in, week out. And it just shows, bro. And then the offense is starting to roll and starting to get a little bit better. Yeah, the Ravens was missing a lot of players on defense as well. There's a lot of things that came into play, but the Texans was missing players as well. So, like I said, man, the Ravens are the Ravens, the Texans are the Texans, and you can't really handle what happens. It's any given Sunday, and the Texans got this dub 44-10 when they really needed it. Now, for the Ravens moving forward, things are not looking good. Lamar Jackson still got the hamstring injury, and now they got to play the Rams, another playoff contending team. So what are the Ravens going to do? Hopefully Lamar figures it out, but, man, I just don't know. But like I said, the Texans did what they had to do to handle their business, got their victory, and now things are looking up for the Texans moving forward. Looking at week 6 of the NFL, I might be a day late, but I ain't a dollar short, people. The Eagles and the Giants played Thursday night, which was yesterday. Giants defeated the Eagles. The Eagles got their second loss of the season, 34-17 win by the Giants. Your boy Jackson Dart, man, he out there balling. I don't know what's the hate, though, for my boy Russ Wilson, man. I already had said that that Dart was going to be the starting by week 4. But I don't know why people hating on Russell Wilson like he's just a bad quarterback either. Why the head coach had to act like that when Dart went out, man? That was just unfair, especially for some TV time, bro. That was just bad. But for the Eagles, you see that Jalen Hurts needs to be a better quarterback. You see that they can't always just run the ball. The receivers need to step up, and he just got to figure things out. I don't know if it's the scheme right now or what, but I will say this. I don't know if I said this before, but the Giants got a hell of a defense, bro. When you talk about pass rushing and guys in the middle and things like that, the Giants is a top 3 defense as well. People might not realize that. I can't really say what's up with the corners on the outside and the safeties and stuff like that, but the Giants got a hell of a defense. I haven't even really took the time to really just analyze the whole team, but I knew they had a hell of a defense when they made the picks they made in the draft the last couple of years, and just looking at who they brought in. And then Scatterbull, man, he just really knows that cream topping on that cake for them, bro. Scatterbull is a hell of a running back for them, and now you got a young quarterback in Jackson Dart. It's looking like kind of like that. Who I want to compare them to, Dak and Elliott kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? 2 young rookie quarterbacks. With a young rookie running back coming in and really building something special. That's what the Giants got right now. That offense is going to be flying for a couple years, bro. And then you already know they got a solid outside receiving core and stuff like that. So the Giants is going to be good, man. They really finna turn the table. The tide is really finna turn in their favor. The NFC East is really going to be tough. Cowboys is rolling, though, and the Redskins is rolling as well. So it's going to be interesting for sure. Looking at the other games for this week, though, man, we got to highlight the Seahawks and Jaguars game because the Jaguars is a competitive team. They're 4-1. Seahawks is competitive as well. Sam Darnold come in. He's been having a solid season again. And you got Trevor Lawrence coming off that win against the Chiefs. The Jaguars is coming in, riding a high coattail, bro. And I think they might overlook the Seahawks team just a little bit and get disappointed. And by the way, Seattle is favored in this game, So it says a lot. Like I said, Seattle's a solid team, bro. And to see this Jaguar team face off against them will be pretty interesting. So you got to have your eyes glued for that, especially for me as the Texans are on a bye week this week. So we won't have much to say about them. But it also gives me the chance to analyze the Seahawks and see what they'll be bringing to the Texans the next week when the Texans come off the bye week. Another game to be looking at, bro, Bengals and Packers. Seeing how Joe Flacco make this Bengals team change a little bit. Seeing that big trade that just took place. Now the Bengals have Joe Flacco. The Browns have let him go. You got Dylan Gabriel and Sanders as the 2 quarterbacks for the Browns now. And Flacco now in the Bengals uniform with our boy Joe Burrow out. You know, you got two Joes playing quarterback for the Bengals. So it's going to be interesting against this Packers team. I'm pretty sure the Packers are going to pull it off. But we'll make our little predictions soon. You already know how it go, baby. But the highlight 2 games of the week. The 49ers and the Buccaneers. Facing off against each other. Bucks at home in Tampa. Baker Mayfield have a hell of a MVP kind of season. And Brock Purdy coming into this game looking to get a win. Man, to say that Tampa is favored in this game is saying a lot. But seeing how the 49ers play, seeing how the Bucks play, it's going to be a close game. And believe it or not, it's not going to be a shootout. I really believe there's going to be a lot of defense played in this game, kind of like that Texan Monday night game that had took place. It's going to come down to the last 2 drives and who has the ball last. So it'll be interesting to see how that game works out for everybody on both sides of the ball. Looking at the Lions and Chiefs, the other game that I highlight for the week, Lions and Chiefs, man. Can the Chiefs bounce back and get a game, bro? You know, they at home. The Lions is hot. The Lions is playing well. Another team that's probably Super Bowl contending once again after turning the page after week 1. Can the Chiefs get this victory? The Chiefs need this victory, honestly. You know, 2-3. They don't want to fall to 2-4 because then it put them in a desperate position. To say that the Kansas City Chiefs is favored at home by 2.5 is kind of crazy to me, though. But you can't never doubt Patrick Mahomes. But I also say that you can't doubt these Detroit Lions, man. They've defeated the Chiefs before. They went in there and put up a lot of points. So I like to see this again on a Sunday night, bro. It's going to be hell of a shootout. This one's going to be a shootout. This is going to be the game you want to watch. And it's going to get real interesting because Mahomes is going to play his ass off because he really needs this win. And believe it or not, he needed more than the Lions do. But you got to keep your eyes glued to this one, people. Monday night, you got the Bills and Falcons. Not too interesting to say. Bills will be looking to get that W, though. Bouncing back after losing last week to the Patriots. The Bills must win this one. And the Bears and Commanders will be going head-to-head. Caleb Williams still trying to make this Bears team seem like a playoff team that might be able to compete. Can he be the best of the 2 young quarterbacks? Between him and Jaden Daniels, who's going to be the best in this game? Who's going to rush for more? It's going to be a lot of things because a lot of things about these quarterbacks are very similar. So we'll see, man. Washington favorite, but we'll see. Now, people, I want to talk about the Indianapolis Colts because everybody's hyping them up, talking about how they're a playoff team and how they going to the Super Bowl. And I'm just going to say this. No, they're not. No, they're not. And I ain't saying this for the biased reason because I'm a Texans fan. I'm saying this based on a scheduling standpoint. The Colts have played the Dolphins, who are 1-4, the Broncos, who are a playoff contender team, the Titans, who are 1-4, the Rams, who are 3-2, and the Raiders, who are 1-4. They played all these losing teams, and y'all gonna sit up there and say they a Super Bowl contender. Yeah, they blew them out. Okay, that's good. That's to say that the Colts might have a solid offense, right? But let's be honest, bro. The Titans ain't good. The Dolphins ain't good. And neither is the Raiders. And they lost the Rams game. It was a close one. They put up the points, but they still lost. Now you come into week 6 and you playing the Cardinals, who are 2-3 or 3-2, whatever the case may be. Another 500 team. Kyler Murray looking pretty solid, but this team is not really making a difference for me on the schedule. This is a team, though, that the Cardinals could possibly beat. The Colts could go down to this team, but it's going to say a lot. If the Cardinals beat the Colts or this game is close, it's going to say a lot about this Colts team because I want to look at the remaining portion of their schedule. After the Cardinals, they play the Chargers, playoff team. Titans, sorry team. Steelers, playoff team. Falcons, 500 team. Chiefs, playoff team. Texans, playoff team. Jags, playoff team. Seahawks, playoff team. 49ers, playoff team. Jags, playoff team. And then the Texans again. Bro, it's not getting easier for the Colts. But also, when you look at the teams, none of them really just scream like, yeah, they can play the Buffalo Bills this week. You know, they ain't playing nobody like that. They ain't playing no top teams in the NFC besides the 49ers. When you talk about the Colts, let's dumb it down a little bit. Will they win 9 games? Possibly. Will they win 12? No, they won't. They won't. Will they even go to the Super Bowl? No, they won't. I'm not even going to say they're not going to make the playoffs because they're 4-1 right now. They got to lose 3 games, but I see 3 games slated for them to lose. And then you talking about Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is having a hell of a season, but you can put Daniel Jones in some bad situations where Daniel Jones bring out the old Daniel Jones. And they just have yet to face a team like that can do that. But there's plenty of those teams on their schedule remaining that have the defense. Example, Texans, Jaguars, even possibly the Chargers could put them in bad position, and the 49ers. You know, we saying a lot about this Colts team. Well, not we. Y'all are saying a lot about this Colts team, but I'm just not really seeing the benefits of just saying, oh, yeah, we high scoring, we do this, we can do that. We a Super Bowl contender. No, y'all not, bro. Prove it. Prove it. And like I said, I just don't see the proof in the pudding for the Colts. To me, that's not what I see. The Colts is going to win about 9 games as usual. The Texans will win a division or the Jacksonville Jaguars. But honestly, it won't be the Colts. I just don't see it. But it will be surprising to see all 3 teams make it. We will see. It's still early in the season. We just get into the fall, and things are really starting to really get dicey. Seeing that the Eagles and Giants already played each other, we're going to go ahead and skip them. Browns and Jets. Denver favored on the road by 6.5. Let's go Broncos. Cardinals Colts. Indianapolis favored by 6.5 at home. Let's go Cardinals. Chargers Dolphins. Chargers favored on the road by 3.5. Let's go Chargers. Patriots Saints. New England favored on the road by 3.5. Let's go Patriots. Browns Steelers. Steelers favored at home by 6.5. Let's go Steelers. Cowboys, Panthers, Dallas favored on the road by 3.5. Let's go Cowboys. Seahawks, Jaguars. Seattle favored on the road by 1.5. Let's go Seahawks. Rams, Ravens. Rams favored on the road by 7.5. Let's go Rams. Titans and Raiders. Vegas favorite at home by 3.5. Let's go Raiders. Eagles, Packers. Favorite by 14.5. Let's go Packers. 49ers and Buccaneers. Tampa favorite by 3.5. Let's go Niners. Lions and Chiefs. Kansas City favorite by 2.5. Let's go Lions. Bills and Falcons. Buffalo favorite by 4.5. On the road, let's go Bills. Here, Sanders, Washington, favorite, 4.5 at home. Let's go Bears. Bye week is for the Vikings and Texans, so we won't be at. So let's get into the heat of the fall. Baseball. We don't know who's going to be in the World Series. We do already know this. The Blue Jays and Dodgers have already stamped their ways into the NLCS and the ALCS. And we got 2 teams on both sides of both conferences that's tied up. Tigers and Mariners, Cubs and Brewers trying to duel it out to get into that final spot on both sides. And if I had to make a guesstimation, I'm going to say the Tigers is going to advance and face the Blue Jays. And the Brewers are going to advance and face the Dodgers. From there, it's going to be a fight between the Dodgers and Brewers. Dodgers will advance. And then you will have the Tigers and Blue Jays fighting against each other. And honestly, bro, I feel like that's going to be a 7-game series. And you're going to get the Blue Jays. I feel like the Blue Jays have it. I want to ride with the Tigers because of the history with the Astros and stuff like that with AJ Hinch. But I think the Blue Jays got enough to get there, man. It's going to be Blue Jays and Dodgers, Toronto and LA going against each other come October 24th. It's still early. This is still predictions. Of course, I'll have another episode by then before the World Series start. But the Dodgers going to get there just based on the payroll and how they crushing teams right now, bro. It's going to be the Dodgers for sure in the World Series, in my opinion. Too bad the Yankees fans fell again. All that money they spend and they still just can't get to the World Series. Or if they do, they just can't, complete the mission as they did last year. They couldn't complete the mission. But it's going to be interesting. And I would say just for media purposes and things like that, Blue Jays, Dodgers, head-to-head, Toronto versus LA is going to make good money for the MLB. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that want to see that versus seeing Detroit in LA or Milwaukee and Detroit or whatever the case may be. So I'm just looking at media point of views and things like that. I believe those are the two teams that will be facing off against each other in the next 2 weeks. Let me know what you think in the comments below, people. But that's all I got to say about that. Moving on, baby. Let's get right into this Rockets basketball. Yeah, the NBA is here. Rockets basketball is here. It's preseason. The Rockets looking solid in the preseason. 2-0 so far. Yeah, it's preseason. A lot of people say it don't matter. But KD getting his first run against the Jazz. He put up 20 points, man. He did it in 23 minutes. 7 for 10. 1 for 2 from the three-pointer. KD looking like KD. Jabari Smith Jr. looking solid. Amin Thompson looking like a man. Driving to the basket. You kind of see all the culmination of what the Rockets can be and will be moving forward. The biggest question mark, of course, is going to be Reed Sheppard. Can he be consistent day in, day out? And is he going to be the starting point guard? Because Aaron Holiday is still there, and we know what Aaron Holiday can do. But the biggest question mark will be Reed Sheppard. Can he move the ball? Can he play solid defense? And will his size be a problem when it comes to defending? I will say this. From what he presented, man, it wasn't too bad. 11 points, 3 assists. He had a steal. He had a couple blocks as well. He didn't turn the ball over too much, and he did all that in 26 minutes. So it's looking efficient. Hopefully we can see that day in and day out for the Rockets. But there's some other young guys out there that's looking sharp. J.D. Davison, I got my eyes on him. He's looking solid for the Rockets, and some other guys on that bench, man, that's playing. I know all these guys won't be with the Rockets starting lineup or a rotation when it comes to the regular season. But to say the least, man, the Rockets is looking sharp. And hopefully we see this team play like this, man, each time they get out there. And hopefully it'll be a healthy season for the Rockets and Kevin Durant, especially since we already missing Van Vliet. So I'll be looking. I know we got one more preseason game before we tip it off against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Can't wait to see that. Can't wait to get that going. I hope the Rockets go into Oklahoma and get that victory and disappoint them on a night where they're getting their rings and putting up their banners and things like that, as well as trying to make fun of KD and letting them know you can get it done. But guess what? We could. So, man, with all that being said, it's going to be very interesting as far as sports in the fall. But here's one question I got for you guys. Is Houston becoming the next great sports city? Because the Rockets, the Texans, the Astros have been churning for a while. A lot of people don't want to recognize what Houston brings to the table market-wise, statewide, things like that. But Houston is that city, man. It's a large market, great stadiums, great food, great places to stay. Athletes choose Houston over Dallas time after time. And Houston is a place to go to, to live and to grow. What do you think about Houston? I know a lot of people are going to sit here and say a lot of negative things. I love the city of Houston. Houston has a lot to offer. But let's be real. Houston is that city. And it has to be that city because all of y'all keep hating and keep on hating. because y'all keep on moving here as well. So somebody gotta love it. You ain't just here for the money. You're here for the family. You're here for a whole bunch of things, a whole lot of opportunity. Let's go H. Let's keep doing this thing big, baby.
Coming so hard from the city of players and pimps. I can call all the plays on a Friday night. By Saturday morning, the H gon' know my name. Hop on the mic, drop and take so hard. You couldn't resist this game. From the south to the north. By Sunday night, y'all gon' know me. Worldwide, Texas to Cali. Beating down the block while you listen to me. Don't forget to feel when you're rocking with HSC. If you feel it, you know it, y'all.